And ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to be discussing something a little personal about what happened to me about a month and a half ago, and my Supergirl is aware of it, but I'm going to show you what's going on here too at the same time. I'm one of those guys that jumps around on certain things. So anyway, let me just show you what is going here, and I'll tell you a little something that happened to me. We're going to be concentrating on his mustache again because he's got this snell. There's a real weak one here, but as you can see, I'm going to zoom in for you. About a month and a half ago, I'll zoom, I was doing a neighbor a favor and chopping down a bush. Not a bush, it was a tree that blew over, rotted. And I was out there for about an hour, and then seeing the branch at 12 o'clock, like this is at 12 o'clock. Ironic, God gives signs in some ways. I didn't plan that. Well, these have little snail ears, and I'm going to show you them in another photo, but now you know what we're concentrating on, okay? So we got one down, and the neighbor came out and he started pushing on the tree that was laying over our fence. Had about half a dozen boards broken, and within the 5 seconds the branch went from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. I was aware of it. I was aware of it, but out being aware of it, I still had it in my mind for an hour where it was at 12 o'clock too, not 3. And while I was having his helping him pushing over, I decided to run, not walk, run over to the other side to help him kick over this few 100-pound log. And I ran straight into it, right like at 3 or 9 o'clock, straight into it with my pupil, my left eye. I mean, I hit it hard. I've had fights under my belt. I hit it hard. I was blind for 14, 15 hours in that eye. I thought I lost my eye. I went to the emergency room. I was there past midnight. I woke up in the morning and I had 75% of my vision back. The grace of God. It took over 10 days, and I do believe I got at least 95% of my vision back. Another blessing. It's scary to be blind. And I was just, during this process, the very next morning that I had 75% of my vision back and the life scared out of me of sight, I was doing YouTubes for you. I was trying to please you guys. And my love for this is that great. And for what Leo had in his eyes were magnificent. He had the sight of knowing. But let me show you something here while you're learning here a little bit about me. How persistent or dumb I am, is that this image, the blue, is out of the Mona Lisa. It's the nose with the mouth on the side. This is the same image. It's not out of the Mona Lisa. And it's not even out of mine. But that's the type of work. See this, the same type of sloop and how it goes and sloop. Okay, that's Leo for you. Well, while I was looking at it and in my other 3 YouTubes regarding this, and I'll put the links of those 3 down below. We'll call this number 4. But you have to research these things and go back and forth. It takes a lot of study. You can screenshot it, and you can do all kinds of things. But let me just tell you that he does the tricks in many different ways with just this shot. Now this one is Ali, which is actually Salvatore. It's the other half portion of the mustache that's on my man. Now watch. I always thought that it was a screenshot of him missing. Technically, yeah, one way. But you see how there's a cookie duster on his right cheek, which is our left? There's no cookie dust you can see here, but I thought it would be missing because of this turn. But in the other prior videos, it actually has a line coming on down, and you can see the hidden works, as such as the blue and the black, which are both of Leonardo da Vinci's that I don't own. I own this. This is a diary. It's also a registry. But in this is the other portion of the mustache that is in two innuendos that I have noticed. Possibly even three if you count the white, because Leo keeps making his works. So when you overlay the white mustache or the black mustache, and you can see how his cookie duster would be on both sides. But when you actually go and overlay it this way for the larger, you can see how it protrudes off the page. Of course, cookie duster ain't going to fly off there like it's been shaved, but you're aware of it. So that's one of his left door, right door flip-flop, kind of like a revert. So I'm going to show you what this looks like, because this is Salvatore. And if you pay attention, watch this. This is what this might not my this. Whoa. Okay. So you see his face, how it's black on that one side? Okay. So I apologize for that. So if you take a look at this, how it's missing. But you can see no mustache on this side, right? Well, that's because it's here. So when you integrate the two, and I don't know if I can do it this way, you can see how the mustache would come. See? How it fills. And then you got the sloop of the eye that goes in there also. But that's Leo for you. It also needs to be a little bit bigger. But you can understand that's how technical this man is. So now you have Salvatore Mundi. Now watch this one. This is the Mona's face. Mona Lisa's face. It's actually, this is her nose and her mouth. So when you take Salvatore and you take a look, it's got the same darkness on the side that he's portraying the lost mustache. Hey, I'll call it the lost mustache. Now found, or something like that. So, sorry about having a little blank spot in there. I do that a lot. I think flashback of losing my eye day turned me, huh? Yeah. Don't want to lose any body parts, do we? So, if this is so, okay, if this is so, let me see something while we're in front of each other. That means there's a G here. And if this was larger, there would be a G here. So if I set this to be a little bit better, you're working me now, okay, guys? This took almost like 6 hours. So here's the I, and there's the there's the G. Excuse me. So that means if I blow up Salvatore, there should be a G, and it looks like a G or something coming out of there. Watch. Excuse me. Who's sprinkling pepper? Okay. He puts these little ears here. Oh, look at that. He's got some ears above the G. So let me scoot this. And let's look at these two together. I'll slide this over and down. He's got a little face of a guy. And he's got these ears. So, anything we can do with it? Well, with these ears and how they float, there's some ears here. Now you got a face with a pointy nose, and here's a point, here's another point, and then it comes to another point. That means you would assume that the G is somewhere right here. Here it is. Here's the G. That's the G. Let me zoom that G for you. Okay, you judge on your own. I'm doing my best in honesty. See how the G goes like this? Swirls, comes up, dot. Swirls, comes up, dot. This painting sold for $500 million a few years ago. It is Salvator Mundi. In the close, I've tried to get a hold of the owner, and I've even sent him one of my books. Now, I've gotten zero response from him. It can't be that he don't like me, because I can verify that his painting is authentic, because there's many other different endos that's in the painting that ends up verifying him. The experts think that they're experts, but they're sloppy. You gotta put your heart and passion in your work. And I don't mean to knock anybody. It's either they're corrupt, or they're liars, or they don't want to acknowledge, because they feel that a regular individual, as myself, as you, may benefit to hit the lotto of the greatest painting on the planet. Now, Salvador Mundi, I don't have bad pronunciations that I've been. No need to knock me. You know, I know what I see, and I try to express from my heart and show you what. I can't manipulate these things. I can only bring out how hard it is for me to do this puzzle. It has many other pieces, but why have they been trying to conceal what's inside the Mona? I can tell you a lot about it. See? There's his mustache. See? And when you blow it up, that's what his mustache starts turning into. See? So there's a huge like conspiracy deal going on. Let's beat him up in a sense. Let's deny that it's even there. But let me tell you a story. I own a business that had a Camaro, and it was for $7,500. And the guy calls me up and tells me he's interested. Oops. He tells me he's interested. But he can't come down and get it, because his wife would kill him. Because he bought a car and it was no good. And he says you have to view it personally. Here's the same model. And I said, well, what do you want to know about the car? And he asked me, and I said, well, there's a chip over by the mirror, and there's a blah, 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 you know, underneath the hood of a sticker missing or something. And I says, I'll tell you what, how much does it cost to come here? He goes, $300 on a flight. And that's how much, so it's the same to go back? He said, yeah. I said, I'll tell you what, you come, you take a look, and you find one thing that's wrong, you leave with $300 in your pocket for half the plane fare back. No questions asked. I won't even argue your point. Boom. Whatever you say. He said, deal. He showed up nearly a day or two later. He was on the move. Walked around the car. I saw him get out of the taxi. Walked around the car. Put his suitcase inside the car. And said, sold. And I said, yeah, for full price too, you know. And he says, yeah? And I said, yeah. He says, because I didn't lie. And it's 100% like I said it was. And I don't have to give you the $300. I said, that's the way I am. I was in business for 40 years. 40 years. This is how honest I boast about it. I ought to be proud. I had one complaint with the Better Business Bureau, which is actually zero, because I couldn't handle the guy's mouth, so I begged him, go to the Better Business Bureau, make a complaint so I could put it down on the internet to tell them, because you just can't get it in your head. And I ended up winning. So basically, I have zero total legit complaints. One unhappy customer, but it was his fault. Shot with a 100 megapixel phase 1 camera. 100 megapixel phase 1 camera. Twice what they use for the distance that goes from the universe to the earth. So I've always hated money, but I need it because I want to see what I can do for this world. But I'm feared about it. And I'll tell you why. God's having a hard time with this world. And I'm thinking I can change it with money. I can use your subscriptions. And I can use your thumbs up, and I can use your friendship, and I can use your trust. I wish you'd go to bat for me. If each one of you that have watched this thing today, this video, and caught just 1% of a feeling that you know where I'm coming from, your friends would get me to where I need to be. And with that, I'd like to say, listen, I want you guys to know that I'm going to keep plugging away regardless if you subscribe or not. I'm going to keep plugging away to see if you'll be my friend and trust me. And with that, I got to say, hey, may God bless the whole world, the whole universe, and the whole heavens. Wash your hands, social distance, wear a mask. And I'm going to have to put a PS in there. Look what I just found. Look what I just found. Here's my man. Look what I just found. Okay. Wow. I knew it was in there on some of the stuff, but let me just show you so you know. Please. You have to understand what this is. You see this big Santa sock? It's an L. And it actually spells out Leonardo. It's in one of my YouTubes. But look at this. Here it is. Upside down. Right here in white. So you take it and you flip it. And then we'll have to shrink it a little. And we're going to see how happy I make you. Bam! Perfect fit. Perfect fit in the sense of the L. Here's another hidden way in there. I found my woman, the Mona, over on this side. But he's on both sides. She's on both sides. He's on both sides. He's everywhere. Wow. Another exploration. Well, to be continued, my friends. To be continued. So, thumbs up, subscribe. You know, I didn't make that up. I didn't make this painting. And I didn't put the 7,000 micro images in it. So, with that, please say your prayers. Help a brother. Teach a teacher. Give mother and father a hug. I lost my father about 9 years ago. Stay strong. In Jesus' name, amen.